All right, friends, Devin here with Backcountry Exposure, out on a family camping trip. I thought, because it's been a while since I've shared any kind of the family camping gear that we're using out on a trip, we're gonna go through all of the gear, which some of it is new and some of it is our favorite stuff. So let's actually start at the car first. We're on a car camping trip. So one of our favorite pieces of gear ever is a fridge with a power station. So we've got the Anker Solix C1000, perfect for having enough power for a weekend trip. This is Harris having a great time. We got a food box here with all of our like unrefrigerated dry food. And then the Iceco, the VL35, but it just is so much better than using a cooler. Like, this is a game changer. If you camp a lot and you have the space, this is absolutely worth the investment. Okay, so let's look at the tent that we're using. This happens to be a brand new tent. We broke some rules and we brought a brand new tent without having set it up before, but I spent a lot of time on YouTube making sure I could figure it all out. But this is the REI Wonderland 6. So a 6-person tent that my wife and I and Harris and our dog, Cooper, are spending the night in this one. I love this huge door opening. I'm gonna take my shoes off. But the tent is massive, huge standing height, a lot of mesh, really enjoyable. But why don't I show you the sleeping gear that we've got here as a family. The first is what my wife is sleeping on. This is a Sea to Summit self-inflating sleeping pad, and then using the Zenbivy bed. This is the standard bed with the zippers. Katie absolutely loves it. Right, Kate?
Absolutely.
She requests this to be her sleep system quite often. It's awesome from a car camping standpoint because you've got the ability with the hood to put a full-size pillow from your bed at home. So really like that. And then Harris is in a Big Agnes Little Red sleeping bag. This is a 20-degree synthetic filled. He's got his super cute National Parks blanket. And then he's on a torso length Nemo pad. I wish they still made that pad, but they don't. And then I am sleeping on a Sea to Summit Comfort Plus XT sleeping pad. This one's really cool because it's actually dual zone in the sense that the top layer and the bottom layer are individual for pumping them up. So you can kind of adjust the pressure of the pad that way. Insulated, regular wide. And then I've also got the Sea to Summit Ascent, brand new for 2024, down 15-degree sleeping bag. This bag is cool because it's got multiple zippers that really just make it like a bed at home. And that's really neat. I've got a pillow that I got from Amazon that's like a camping size memory foam pillow. But then a second pillow that is from Zenbivy for me to just get that height and stuff that I want when I'm sleeping. So this tent and all of this fits really nice, super comfortable. We've got our duffel bags and such, and really a nice way to enjoy being comfortable and out as a family. We'll show this as well. The Sitio crate that just has all of the small gear items that we need. So we've got lanterns, battery banks, knife, Zoleo, another lantern, some gloves, just the stuff that needs a home. So the family has gotten bigger over time, and for all of us to fit inside of one tent just doesn't really work. So now my two oldest daughters, they are using a 3-person tent. So we have just more space as a family. So this is the REI Half Dome SL 3 Plus, and makes for plenty of space for the girls to be in here. So we'll look inside and talk about their sleep system. Sorry, future Devin, just interrupting here for a second to talk about a couple things that took place with the REI Half Dome SL3 Plus. It's honestly
not very often that I have issues or failures with products, but this was a problem that I felt like needed to be talked about real quick just to make sure that you guys understood my experience first time out with the tent. I'm actually waiting to hear back from REI on what the solution is to this issue that I had. But one of the two items that happened is this piece here completely ripped out of the rainfly. This I found as I was cleaning up the tent, and this is what connects to the brow pole of the tent to center the rainfly, tension it, and make sure that it stays connected to the tent. It just completely ripped out. So that's a huge bummer. And then second is I had issues with the zippers on the tent. They were super sticky, they didn't glide well, and my kids had a really hard time getting them closed at night when they were getting in the tent to go to bed. So this was kind of frustrating, but I thought it important to share as I'm talking about here's a bunch of new stuff that we're using for our family camping. So again, I'm waiting to hear from REI on what their solution is for it, but just initial impressions on that tent that I'm not super stoked about.
So we've got a double pad here from Perea Outdoor Products. This is the Recharge double wide. This is awesome as a really good price point sleeping pad. We love this thing. We've been using it for years and years at this point, like 8 years or so would be my guess. And then the sleeping bags, Lucy is on a UGQ Bandit top quilt. This is 20 degree, and this is the Youth Bandit. We love this so much. It packs down really small, but the UGQ quilts, they are perfect for kids that are under 4 feet in height. They're super warm, very packable, and customizable. They're absolutely worth the investment. We love this so much. Malin has outgrown the quilt, so she is now in an adult size bag. This is the Cumulus Lightline 400, which will be plenty warm for her, and it just is kind of a slimmer profile, so it's nice to be used as a kid's bag. Just a nice, comfortable, really cozy place for them to be for camping as a family. All right, let's talk about our camp kitchen. This is one of my favorite things because we love to eat good food when we're out as a family. So there's a few new things here that are really cool. We'll talk about the table here first. This is a table we've been using for about a year at this point. It's from Moose Jaw. It folds up really small, but it has a really nice standing height, so you don't have to bend over to like cook and stuff. Then you've got this mesh basket on the bottom, so we are able to easily put things down here that we need access to, keep them off the ground, but not have to have all of that on the table. Then the cooking stuff. We've got a Primus 2-burner stove. This is the Kinja 2-burner stove. I love this thing. We've used several other 2-burner stoves like the GSI Pinnacle Pro and cheap like Coleman ones, but this one has been my favorite because you don't have big wings on the side that make it harder for you to put bigger pans like this one from Gerber. So love this 2-burner stove. So this set right here is from Gerber. This is the complete cooking set that you've got a big pan, like a griddle here, and then this is a cutting board and like storage thing where you've got multiple cutting boards, and then there's this open space for you to put utensils and stuff. So we've got knives, but the Gerber knives that are included here, sharp, awesome cooking knives. We just cooked some quesadillas on this little square griddle. We'll do like pancakes and bacon on this in the morning, eggs and that kind of thing. I love the big raised edge, and it's burly, and you have a removable handle, which I also like. And then we've got, you've seen me talk about this before, the camp kitchen box. So another awesome set that we just picked up is this Detour stainless steel set from Sea to Summit. This is new for them for 2024. So you have this big pot that stainless steel, and then you've got that classic collapsible Sea to Summit. That was cool. But there's a couple things that are included. You've got these collapsible mugs, so those are rad. And then there's 2 bowl plate combos that pop open and just give you a nice bowl, but you can also push that down and use it as a plate. And then your lid for it. This thing is just, it's rad. Like those side by side on the stove, absolutely dig how nice that is. Part of the Gerber set is these 4 plates, but then we've got everything else. So in this Sitio crate, which is a half-size crate, more of the Sea to Summit collapsible eating bowls and mugs. This is not sponsored by Sea to Summit. We just really like their kitchen stuff. And then a bunch of other random odds and ends. We've got eating utensils, all of that stuff for us to be able to cook and enjoy ourselves. Then if you come down back to the ground, a few things here. The Ignic 5-pound growler propane tank. This is refillable. We love this because it's a small form factor. Doesn't take up a lot of space in the car, but it is super cheap to refill. It was about halfway empty, and I paid less than $3 to fill this up the other day before we came out. So tomorrow, we're gonna cook some steak and chicken on the Nature Grill. This thing I love. We have already been using this so much. We seriously love this grill. You'll see it here in some B-roll of how it functions, but charcoal goes into a little cylinder in there. You light it up. It's got a fan that's battery powered, heats this up, and it makes for some really awesome tasting food. And it cooks really efficiently and effectively as well. Last thing with the kitchen, we've got our Hydro Blue jerry can for our water. This is awesome because it's like 4 gallons of water, and we're able, if we run out of water, to fill it up from a lake, a stream, wherever, and it's got a carbon filter and a hollow fiber filter, so you get clean water while you're out on a camping trip. The last thing we'll talk about is just some like gadgets and comfort luxury stuff that we really love to take on our family camping trips. Sometimes during the day it gets really, really hot, so we've got this Claymore battery powered fan that this thing actually rocks. Like, it'll blow a good amount of air, charges really fast, and it's just nice on those hot days. Even on like spring days down here in the desert, middle of the day it can be really, really hot, so that's a nice way for us to just cool down and get some cool air on you. And then also from Claymore is this big light. So here we might be able to like hang this in a tree or put it up in the tent. But when you're in an area that if you're cooking at night, then this is a nice way for you to get some light in your camp. So I'm excited to have that. And then something we're super stoked about is our Christmas present from Santa. We got some new chairs from Kelty. These are the love seat chair, and they're all the low style chairs. So we've got for Katie and I, and then one for each of the kids of the single low chairs. And we love it. All right, so that's all of the gear that we are using this year, 2024, as a family for our family camping trips, and we're stoked. We've made some pretty significant updates from some of the gear that we've had in the past. And I'll say as well, something that I feel like is important is you don't have to spend a lot of money to go out on a family camping trip. Some of the stuff I did show does have a higher price tag, but you don't have to spend that much money to go out and have a good experience camping as a family. Just get out there, have a good time. Well, hopefully this gives you some ideas on some options that are available, how we approach our camping to make it comfortable and enjoyable for our kids, for Katie and I as the adults. And yeah, Let me know what you think down in the comments, but hope you guys have an awesome day. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later.